The Pokemon gods have given every Pokemon 4 move slots to work with. However, there are situations where you may not want to use all 4 of them. Instead, you would only use 3 or even 2 moves. The most notable is particular variants of Xerneas and even Crobat. Here's the story of the 3-move Xerneas. Xerneas is well known for being a Geomancy sweeper because with Power Herb, Geomancy is one of the best moves in the game. But it's not the only moveset Xerneas can use. At high levels of Uber's play, people are rarely going to use a team weak to Xerneas, and they will often have bulky steel types and other ways to try and counter Xerneas. That doesn't mean Geomancy Xerneas won't win games, it's still a top threat, but it does mean that Geomancy Xerneas teams will need ways to put pressure on those cores to break through. However, some teams may not necessarily want to invest the resources to build in that approach, but still want the utilities that Xerneas has to offer. Even without Geomancy, Xerneas is a powerful Pokemon with its high special attack and good ability in Fairy Aura. It has decent bulk to switch into attacks and doesn't have a terrible speed tier. This is why Choice Scarf Xerneas is also popular. It's a strong Pokemon that can revenge kill attackers and doesn't need one turn to Geomancy for its speed. The immediate speed is good for revenge killing faster Pokemon and sweepers that get out of hand. For example, Scarf Xerneas can outspeed Dragon Dance Rayquaza and Deoxys attack. Sometimes Dragon Dance Mega Salamence prefers to run bulk EVs so that it can Dragon Dance and Roost versus Primal Groudon. Because of this, Scarf Xerneas can sometimes outspeed Mega Salamence too. But in Generation 6, Choice Scarf Xerneas only runs 3 moves: Moonblast, Geomancy, and Sleep Talk because of Darkrai. Darkrai is a powerful sleep threat because of Dark Void, and every team needs to be ready for it. Xerneas can switch into Dark Void and then Sleep Talk to throw off a Moonblast. Geomancy is unable to be called by Sleep Talk, and it's mainly just a filler move. If you ever end up in a situation where you can get knocked off and have time to Geomancy without a Power Herb, you can go for it. That's very unlikely, so Geomancy is mainly on the moveset because why not? There is no cost. The point is to always call Moonblast with Sleep Talk, and Geomancy doesn't affect that. Even 2-move Xerneas would accomplish Scarf Xerneas' goal. In fact, the mechanic that Sleep Talk cannot call Geomancy was initially not well known, so you may see references to 2-move Xerneas in the literature. Because of Fairy Aura, Moonblast is Xerneas' strongest move by far and oftentimes the only move worth clicking. The value you get from always clicking Moonblast with Sleep Talk is much more than the value you'd get from having access to coverage moves like Thunder, which you rarely click anyway. Common Fairy resists like Mega Gengar and Primal Groudon barely take more damage from coverage moves anyway. That's how strong Fairy Aura Stab Moonblast is. By using Sleep Talk in Moonblast, Scarf Xerneas becomes a reliable Darkrai check and one of the few ways to deal with Dark Void. You could use Aromatherapy as a 4th move, but that makes the Darkrai matchup more inconsistent because if you call Aromatherapy, it actually becomes detrimental because you're locked into Sleep Talk while not being asleep anymore. Even versus non-Darkrai structures, Scarf Xerneas' power, speed, and typing make spamming Moonblast good versus offensive teams. Overall, the situation where you would use less than 4 moves can be summarized with 2 reasons. 1, there's a powerful sleep-inducing Pokemon in the tier, and 2, you have a Pokemon whose strength comes from only 1 or 2 moves. It doesn't need coverage. In fact, there are other examples of Pokemon using less than 4 moves. Choice-banded Crobat in Generation 6 UU could also use 3 moves only with Brave Bird, U-Turn, and Sleep Talk. Here, Crobat would be able to switch in risk-free to a Sleep Powder Roserade. Choice-banded Brave Bird and U-Turn are basically the only move that a choice-banded Crobat would ever use anyway. Flying hits grass already, and fairy types in the tier like Florges and Sylveon are usually specially defensive and would switch out of a choice-banded Brave Bird anyway, so cross poison isn't too valuable. When Crobat switches into a Sleep Powder, it can either throw off one of its powerful Brave Birds, or it can throw off a fast U-Turn. Both of these are guaranteed good outcomes, and the value of switching into Roserade reliably is worth more than any coverage move like Cross Poison or Steel Wing. Non-choice banded Crobat wouldn't use 3-move Sleep Talk because having Roost and Defog would be more valuable. It was mainly seen on Choice Lock Crobat only. Before sleep moves were banned in Generation 5, you could even use Sleep Talk on Choice Specs Latios. Draco Meteor, Psychic, and Sleep Talk could let you switch into Amoonguss. However, in Latios' case, its coverage is valuable. Surf lets you hit Pokemon like Pursuit Trapping Tyranitar and is overall a decent move with Rain and Permanent Weather. Trick is also a good move to cripple an opponent. So here you could have run 3 moves, but 4 was still more likely because the coverage was valuable. It all comes back to the 2 main criteria mentioned above. You can use 2 or 3 moves on any Pokemon as long as you believe they satisfy those conditions. Also, check out my Nuzlocke of Pokemon Heart Gold where I couldn't evolve or use single stage Pokemon. It's a video I'm proud of and it's my first attempt at a Nuzlocke video.